tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, welcome, SVU fans.
Yes.
It's finally time. We're finally here. It is the Law & Order Special Victims Unit, AFTERBUZZ After Show. I'm your host, Yael. With me, Roya Taheri.
Hello, everybody.
We are so excited.
Before I bust a cap in your as Finn would say.
As Finn would say.
Cheesy lines.
Welcome. We're so excited. It's season 16. It only took us.
so smooth, not smooth jazz.
I'm so excited. I'm holding in my excitement. We're at season 16. The season 16 premiere. Girls Disappeared, which I, for the entire time I was watching, thought was called Girls Interrupted.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm so excited. It's been 16 seasons and we finally have an after show. Yay!
Yay! Sweet 16.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So we're...
That's the legal age, right? In New York? 16?
17.
17. Damn, one more year.
According to the show, 17 is
Maybe we
the
should wait till next season.
Yeah.
Come back and then do it again. So.
Great. So,
anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Just as a refresher, because I don't know about everyone else, but as soon as this episode started, I was confused beyond belief. Could not remember what was happening. Had to rewatch the season finale and get all caught up. So let me give you a refresher.
Refresh me.
Yeah. Coming on to me there, Roya? In your Benson jacket.
Dun dun.
So Benson has a baby, which we know was baby Doe, and now is Noah.
Yes.
And as we recall, there was that pornographer, the really fat guy with the long hair who was in the wheelchair.
Was he a pornographer? I thought he was. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was a pornographer. That's where the baby was found. In the
motel room in the
dresser.
drawer, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it turns out that last season, the season finale, we met Ellie Porter, who turned out to be the baby's mother. And that was its own whole crazy story as to how the baby got to where it did. Also, Amaro has been demoted back to just a policeman. I think he's working Vice.
Does that mean he could eventually get his badge back?
I think so, because he's not. He wasn't fired.
Right. God, that must have to be annoying. It's like going back to high school, having to go through all the grades all over again. That'd suck.
It's all Billy Madison of him.
Yeah.
And the reason he was demoted was, as we recall, the guy from Scandal, whose name I don't recall, because in my mind, he's from Scandal. And so he was the photographer who was taking pictures of little boys in the park and he kept trying, he was so gross. He wanted to get a little boy to skin in his kill room.
He had these disturbing fantasies.
Yeah, but he, of course, got off because he didn't do anything. He just had all these fantasies. And so Amaro beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, because he was at the school taking photos.
Yeah, he was at the park taking photos. So that is why Amaro was demoted.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This episode, we start with Luna Garcia, who is getting picked up with a John, who is from ABC's The Neighbors, that short-lived show.
Which I love when Amaro walks up to him. He goes, "Sir, you're exposing yourself." He's like, "Well, it's better if I'm doing it pulled over than
driving."
Driving. What? Like, he's trying every excuse in the book.
The best thing is he says, "Oh, it's just my girlfriend," and then he goes, "What's her name?" And he goes, "I don't know, I just met her."
Yeah.
No, he ggets taken in and questioned, and he has no idea who the girl is or how old she is. Turns out she's 14. Gross.
Yeah.
I love when they go, "How old are you?" She goes, 19. "What year were you born?" 96.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't prep her on that
no,
at all?
not at all.
Hey guys, so this is the age you gotta be, but let's do the math of what year you need to be born in. But I guess that's not a good cover for their little ring that they got going on.
Well, as they get caught, a car drives by, And we see for a minute Selena, who we will meet later, who is from Orange is the New Black.
I was trying to figure out. She's the crazy one,
She's
right?
the crazy one who's always shouting in the bathroom.
Yeah. Took me the whole episode to figure. I'm like, who is she? Can't figure it out.
What? The first time we see her, she has like a crazy face and like her hair's all crazy. I was like, that's clearly her.
I know, but I was waiting for her to scream, and eventually we kind of got that scream.
kind of.
Needed a cell phone in her hand, and then I'd figure it out.
Yeah,
okay.
put her in a bathroom.
Yeah. She's going to prison anyways. No, she's not.
No, she's not.
She was though for a little bit. Sorry.
It's fine. So it turns out that Luna has some connection to Ellie Porter, who is Benson's baby's mom. That's such a weird sentence. Noah's mom.
Yes.
Ellie Porter. So this
Baby
girl,
Noah.
Yeah, this girl's Luna's passport was found in the house where Ellie was living.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they keep saying she witnessed the murder. Like they need her because she's a witness.
Maybe like word of mouth type of thing, where if she knew about what would happen to Ellie while she was in the house, since Ellie wasn't there, they're like, we got to find her, we got to kill her. Well, this is how we're gonna do it. So if she heard someone say it, that draws to that person.
All right, I'll take it.
I'm a detective.
Nice.
I work hard. I'm just kidding.
Well, so we find out that we find Luna's new house and meet her pimp Joaquin. And Amaro goes undercover as like a crooked cop, pulls over Joaquin. So funny. And he's like, no, I'm a crooked cop, that's how cops play it, guys. When they're crooked, they go, no, I'm a crooked cop. Pay me. I'm crooked.
Yeah, here's my card.
Yeah.
Right in the open.
Yeah, I'm crooked. Amaro warns Joaquin they're going to raid the house. Of course, they raid the house. They find all these women. And we get connected to Quick Ride, which is kind of like Uber, Lyft, or Sidecar.
Well, it's funny they even mentioned Uber and Lyft. So.
Which is, they did the same thing when they had that Chris Brown episode, where the man was called Caleb Bryant instead of Chris Brown. And they made reference to Chris Brown. That is their way of being like, we have nothing to do with this. We're distancing ourselves.
Yeah.
So, Quick Ride.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah, that we're exactly the same.
It's all fictional, as it says in the very beginning.
Yeah. So we meet Angel Perez, who runs Quick Ride, and I know you and I both had the same thought at this moment.
What a beard. Is that what you're thinking? Oh.
No. It was
very well trimmed.
I'm sorry. After 16 seasons of this show.
Well, that was my first initial thought. I was looking at him.
Oh.
I was like, wow, he's got a nice beard. He did it. Or his wife did it.
No. First time we meet him, I was like, they did it. And that only becomes more and more clear when, like, later when when the building's broken into, we meet his wife. I was like, oh, they're both in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she was the one. 100%. I'd be like, that'd be kind of cool if a woman was behind it all.
A woman who doesn't even work there.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, because they're still looking for the mastermind at that point.
Right.
That was my thought process.
Okay,
Yael. Don't yell at my thought process.
I'm not. I'm loving your thought process.
Okay.
God, I love SVU. So we go to visit Tino in prison, and we get these nice flashbacks as to who Tino is. Tino was Ellie's pimp. He claimed he took the blame for killing her, but he did not make the call. Because we're still looking, as we said, for the mastermind. Yeah. He threatens Benson, like straight up threatens her in front of Barba. And I love that Barba is like, you just threatened her in front of a DA who's here to offer you a deal.
Exactly. You're spitting in our face. How dare you?
I like Barba.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the DAs.
Okay.
What do you think of Barba? I like him. I think he's a great DA and a great addition to the show.
Yeah, I like him a lot too. He can speak Spanish and he's good. He's got that presence about him.
I think he's one of the first male DAs we've had.
No. Oh, I was thinking regular Law and Order.
How dare you?
I know, I'm sorry.
I mean, we had Harry Connick Jr. for a bit. Remember?
Yeah, he was interesting.
Because he was dating.
Benson's love interest, and we just wanted... Meanwhile, we're like, don't do it.
Yeah, that was a waste. I like Barba. I mean, no one will ever replace Cabot.
True.
Oh, Cabot. Sorry. So Joaquin and Amaro meet after Benson is threatened. And Amaro tells Joaquin...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think for this season, Benson is going to react like Stabler would when he would be threatened with his family?
Sorry, you can't bring up Stabler. It makes us all sad.
I'm sorry, but it's a legit question.
Yes, I think...
Now that Benson has a child of her own, she needs to protect the child.
You think she's going to become more angry the way Stabler used to.
Yeah, do you think she will do that?
I think yes, but in a more maternal and less aggressive, because he would just punch people. And I think in this episode we saw a great moment where she is in Joaquin's face? Yeah, she's in Joaquin's face, and she's like, you threatened my child, and I will make you I will make it look like you accidentally killed yourself in your cell. Mm-hmm. Right? That was a thing that happened? Am I mixing up episodes?
Yeah, right after...
You looked at me like I was wrong.
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Thanks.
My mind went back into the episode. I'm sorry.
You started rewatching it.
Yeah. I'll be less visual about it.
Well, all right. So Amaro tells Joaquin, hey, you should make a deal because Tino's going to make a deal. Or, Missy, that girl that we found in the house, she's going to make a deal. And then what happens? We get this montage of people dying.
Yeah, all the people that were going to help the case. I didn't know if that was a legit, setup or not.
What do you mean?
Because Amaro was supposed to be the dirty cop.
Right.
And he tells the guy about the whole situation, that these people are captured and they're involved, and yet all of a sudden they all die. So I didn't know if that was their game plan from the very beginning, to have Amaro warn him and then have those people killed off.
Oh.
Or was that just their plan and then they knew that they were going in the right direction?
I think it was Amaro went to Joaquin and said, look, either you talk or one of them will. Mm-hmm. So I think the idea was to get Joaquin to talk. Or I think it was to help them lead back to the mastermind. Which is
so they risk people's lives.
Yeah, but who did they risk? Tino.
Yeah.
Who lived and is a pimp.
Yeah, but he's also the one that knows who did the actual call.
So does Joaquin.
So what if it backfired? It's a big risk that they played, okay?
It is a big risk.
Jeez. But I really wanted that pizza that Joaquin was eating.
Oh my God, that pizza was so good. I love that Amaro just takes a slice.
I was like, oh, that's what I wanted to do. Damn.
So we lose Tino. Well, Tino almost dies. He gets shivved. Missy gets shot in the car.
Oh, that was a brutal scene. I did not expect to see that on this episode. In the series.
This montage was so cute in a terrible way. It was a nicely done montage. I believe it was Rihanna we were listening to, which is hilarious.
Really? I didn't catch that.
I mean, the song did not fit what was happening in my mind. Mm-hmm. And Diego, who was the shooter from way back who was shooting at Luna, he also got killed in the hospital. So really, the loose ends were being tied up, and someone shot up the park where Noah was.
That was so dark.
Yeah. I mean, they even say later that they didn't hit anybody. It was just to scare them.
Disclaimer, no children were hurt. Please, it's not that dark.
Well, because, I mean, as it happened, I see Noah fine, and Lucy wasn't even shot, his caretaker. And I was like, this is the worst drive-by ever.
Yeah. But was in that scene when Benson comes to the crime scene, she sees a carrier that Noah was supposed to be in, and it's knocked over, and it looks like was it shot up, or was it just knocked over?
Yeah, I think because Lucy knocked it over to protect him.
So that became evidence, so she couldn't re-pick it up and put him back into it.
Yeah,
she had
it's a crime scene.
Okay, so they had to put him in a new carrier.
That's my thought.
Okay.
I mean, unless it was somebody else's carrier and it just happened to be the same.
Okay.
I don't know. People buy those. What are those?
I kept calling it a carrier.
Yeah,
I don't have a child.
Neither of us have kids. Those things you put kids in. Stroller.
Yes. I was going to say roller, but strollers. Exactly it. Winner.
We're a little Benson-like over here. We don't have kids. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Give me a look like that was an unacceptable joke. Guys, the show is dark, and so therefore we will make jokes about it.
Okay.
That being said, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Ooh, thank you for watching and streaming. And I know a lot of people have been tweeting at me excited about the show. So thank you. We do this because we really do love SVU. If you've watched me on any other after shows, you'll see that I will find a reason to bring up SVU in every after show because I love this show so much. And the reason we're here is because we love it and we want to do this for you guys. And we ask of you one simple thing. Go onto iTunes and rate and review the after show. If you like our after show, give us 5 stars. If you don't like our after show, that's okay. Give us 4 stars and leave a comment letting us know what we're doing well, what we could be doing better, what we should focus on more. And let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Also comment if you want Stabler back, because we do.
Yeah, unless there's a series finale, I don't think he's ever going to come back.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry, Yael. I'm sorry. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off.
No.
And just let you feel it, okay?
No.
But one more thing I think would be a fun little thing to do for the show.
Yeah.
I think someone should make a tally of how many little cheesy lines Ice-T gets to say in the show.
Wait, Ice-T has the best lines.
I know, but we should tally up of his, like, freeze before I bust a cap in your, like, those kind of little lines that are just funny. And
all right.
Tally up. I mean, it's just episode 1 of the season. It's still early.
Yeah, we only
can do
have
it.
24 episodes.
Yeah.
All right, fans, we will ask you to let us know your favorite Ice-T lines and we'll keep a tally.
Okay, fine.
Is that better?
That's
Are you
fine.
going to keep the tally?
It's kind of like, zombie shows when how many zombies get killed and they count how many,
Fine.
keep a tally.
Okay, keep a tally. Let us know. Can we back to
Anybody?
the show?
Oh, fine.
Can we get back
Go back to leading.
Okay.
Jeez.
So Amaro and Joaquin are arrested. And then we go see Tino's mom because Tino's alive. And then we hear about this Selena girl. Selena apparently is the girl who all the new girls get taken care of by. Yes?
Sunny.
Yeah, what about... We'll get to Sunny.
Oh. Because he was...
We're about to get to Sunny. Because we got to figure out how to get to Selena.
Okay.
How do we get to Selena? You might ask. Well, you set up a date with the new girl who goes by Carmen. And so we see Sunny, who is a new detective in the squad. Sunny. All sorts of swear words are at the tip of my tongue, and I'm keeping them in. I can't stand him.
Right.
And I'm afraid they're going to make us like him.
Do you think he's crooked?
No. I thought he was. So we see him in this first episode, in the first time. He's annoying. Mm-hmm. He clearly doesn't know what's happening. I think he's going to grow on us, and that makes me so annoyed. Because I don't want him to.
Mustache is going to grow right on you. You're going to enjoy it. But the reason why I asked if you think he's crooked is because he makes an empty promise to the girl.
Oh, yeah.
About getting her citizenship because of, is that what it...
Some sort of like she can stay and not get deported and have a good life because of her situation.
Yeah, it sounds like he wants to be a DA.
Yeah.
Like that's his goal as being a detective.
I can't stand him. He comes in there and he's like, yeah, I'm experienced. I spent 2 months over there and 2 months over there and a week over there. Like, there's a reason, Sonny. And we see him go undercover. I like at first when Amaro, they ask Amaro to be undercover. He volunteers to go undercover as a crooked cop. Hilarious. But instead we get him to go undercover as a John, which I believe 100%.
It's the mustache, huh?
It is the mustache. So Carmen walks in and she looks terrified, and he locks the door in the hotel room. I gotta tell you guys, at this moment, I was freaking out because I was like, oh my God, he's gonna rape her. Like,
legitimately, I'm on the job, guys. It's cool.
I was like, does he not realize how this works?
Yeah.
I was so scared because he put the lock on the door.
Yeah.
That's like too far. Anyway. So he starts being really aggressive with her, and I was confused because I was like, does he not know what his job is? Does he not understand that he's a cop and that he's undercover? And then she starts calling, and he goes, yeah, get out your phone. Yeah, call her. And I was like, oh.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I see what's happening here. She calls Selena, who shows up, and she's all angry, and then the cops show up and bust in.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, this is my cousin. I was just protecting her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she confessed the whole thing to her. Like, you've been touching my girl? I'll come at you. And
Yeah.
What?
Like, you're going to pay us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. So we find out Selena's story. She's from the same village that Luna is from. She is basically the, like, cautionary tale of the little girls. Don't leave your mom. Don't go out alone. Sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
And we get introduced to Tenancy. I had it. I had the town. I had the city.
Do you want me to butcher it so you can...
Yeah, so I can say...
Tenancingo?
Consigo.
There you go. See, I knew if I said it wrong, you'd pick it right up.
I got it. Which is apparently the epicenter of Mexican sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Straight from Mexico to New York. We find out about this little village. It's terrible and horrible, where pimping is the country or the city's main business. We then find out that Angel Perez, who runs Quick Ride, is the bad guy. And
Super bad guy.
Super bad guy. He's the head of he's one of the 3 main heads of the organization.
Which, honestly, I didn't think he was going to be that big of a bad guy. When they revealed who he is and what the whole deal was, I did not expect him to be that powerful.
You thought he'd be like below the other two?
Yeah, because the way he was acting in the business, he was kind of like, meh, I don't want to be a part of this. We just run this business. And
smart of him.
Yeah, it was he shelled up.
Smart of a
Exactly.
villain.
And the beard just looked like, oh, he's friendly. He's got a beard. He looks fluffy. And then
Really?
all of a sudden the beard turned powerful.
Yeah, beards to you mean friendly?
Well, for him it did, because he was so small and he went down. But then when we find out who he is, he's scary.
Well, so they use the women, the trafficked women's babies, to turn Selena, and they get the guy, and then they shoot him.
After he threatens Benson again.
Oh, yeah.
Benson's the one that shoots him.
Hell yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She's badass.
That brings up my other questions.
Yes.
Back to my main question.
Yeah.
Do you think Benson is going to go Stabler?
I don't think no one can go Stabler. He goes so dark.
Have you seen my Stabler? Sorry.
Nice. Elliot would get so dark and so aggressive, and he would beat the crap out of people in interrogation and ruin cases. I think we've only seen her once or twice snap like that. I think Lewis is really what brings out the worst in her. I think she's going to be more protective mama, and more verbal threats than physical threats.
Really? I think because she let that darkness out with Lewis, she might actually let that out and be she's going to be a mama bear for sure, but she's going to be like mama bear with claws out, like that.
All right.
I think
I'm excited to see it.
Because that would make her story arc a little bit more versus being don't do that. That kind of reaction.
I don't think she's there. I think she's between those reactions is where she lives.
I just don't think she has to be one or the other. I don't think she can do both. Because then it will threaten her character, and we'd be scared for her character.
Honestly, I think the arcs that they have gone on this show, I think if you remember
Rollins and Amaro doing it. What?
What? You think Rollins and Amaro are going to do it?
No, they already did last season.
What?
Where were you?
When did they do it?
There was an episode where he comes out of the bathroom, the shower.
Oh, that's right.
And he's in a towel, and they sit down next to each other.
Yeah, I remember this. They teased photos of that with her and a dog, and they were like, what is she doing at home alone with a dog? And then he walks out. Sorry. No, I don't think that's going to keep happening.
Well, he already kind of made I'm like, I know you've been calling me, but I've been busy on my new job. And she's like, oh yeah. No worries. It's cool.
Well,
I get it.
Remember where the show started? Remember 16 seasons ago? The show started, every episode was its own contained thing. We had maybe 2 episodes that would go together. And the season finale was just here's a crazy case. And then the season premiere was here's a new story. And we didn't have until recently these crazy cliffhanger endings. For example, remember when Cragen woke up with a dead hooker in his bed?
Yeah.
And he had been drinking? That was insane. Remember when Benson got kidnapped by Lewis? That was heartbreaking.
Yes.
Terrifying. Lewis, I think, is still the scariest arc we've had on SVU. I definitely can't watch those episodes with the lights off.
Right.
Terrifying.
Especially when he boils his fingers.
Yeah, that's as soon as that starts, I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I'll wait till tomorrow morning.
Even in Orange is the New Black, I can't look at him the same.
Oh, yeah.
He's still a creeper and bad guy in the show. But yeah, exactly.
It's very different. Let's talk a little bit about this city in Mexico that we've heard of.
Real news?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not expect... I mean, I know the show likes to be legit... Be not kind of pull things out of thin air.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how serious. That sounds really bad.
No, I agree. I thought they just picked a place in Mexico or made up a place even. And we're like, this is a terrible place. But we've done some research.
Yeah, and according to like an article that I read online, it says that if you ask some boys who have done some boys down in that town, they ask them, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? They reply, I want to have a lot of sisters and a lot of daughters to make lots of money. That's the response. It's these little boys, when they're asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Mm-hmm. That's what they want. They want to be a pimp.
Yeah, they dream to grow up to be pimps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the city is 80 miles from Mexico City. Mm-hmm. And the way it works is that the men will go around town, they'll find women, they'll woo them, be like, I got a great life, come, you know? Mm-hmm. They could be going to go grocery shopping, doesn't matter. These men seem charming, the women go with them, and then all of a sudden the men go, hey, I want you to meet my family. And that's when they end up in New York and Queens. Queens is a very popular of where they end up going.
What? That's so scary. Mm-hmm. It's really, the story is really terrifying. And the fact that that is true is even more terrifying. I know that over the summer, while Graceland was airing on USA Network, they paired a SVU marathon, as USA Network tends to do, with Graceland to talk about trafficking, human trafficking of all sorts, not just sex trafficking. And they were telling like all these crazy stats, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, and in the city, in that exact city, people, they know not to... Tenancingo?
Uh-huh.
They know not to try and mess with it, because if they do, they're in trouble. And they celebrate the people that are involved in the sex trafficking. There's a Mexican holiday that's kind of like Mardi Gras. And they will go into the streets, and the boys and the men will just take out their women and they'll start whipping them in the streets out of joy. Crazy.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah. And, the net traffickers, they make about $100,000 a year.
How much?
100,000?
Oh.
Yeah. I know, you would think it would be more.
Yeah.
But in Mexico, maybe that's a lot.
Yeah, I would assume. I want to talk a little bit about Benson adopting Noah.
Okay.
Are we good on this topic?
Yeah.
I mean, is there more dark, scary information you want to share with our listeners?
I'm just trying to read over my notes.
Yeah.
But it's basically an easy job for people to do, which sucks.
Yeah. It is terrifying, and it does suck. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, this SVU really brings up all sorts of topics and all sorts of stories, and we hear about all sorts of, horrific tales of sex trafficking and prostitution and all sorts of stuff like that. And I think we're going to be able to talk about it here. And that's maybe will bring awareness.
Yeah, it brought awareness to me. Definitely stay away from that town. Even if it's on Groupon, don't go. Don't do it. It's a trick.
You're ridiculous.
I'm just saying. The more you know.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Benson's baby.
Baby Noah.
Baby Noah. So I don't know about New York law, which I plan to learn about, but can a cop adopt a baby that is like a victim's child?
Since my assignment for this week was to do the trafficking,
Yes,
I did a quick glance over of the fostering, and it's just you have to be a suitable parent. You have to have your conditions have to be clean. You have to have protection. So it sounds like a cop, a detective of all, a lieutenant of all. Damn, I went up.
You went too high.
16 seasons.
She's a sergeant. I mean, I get what you're saying. That yes, to foster a child, you need to just be able to foster a child.
Right.
I just think the way it happened. If we recall, the judge said to Sergeant Benson, "You seem to be here and be invested in this baby."
Yeah, she's been in it since that day one when they found the baby in the drawer.
She's been going to the
fostering hearing.
It's the custody hearing, I guess, to figure out who this child belongs to. And she's been there every time, and she's, had a connection with the baby. She's checked on him, and the judge says to her, you seem to have a connection. You seem to care, want to foster this child.
Yeah, it's because baby Noah is not staying in a home.
Right.
People keep returning him. I didn't know you could return people so quickly.
I think it's because they're looking for family members. They're looking for someone who's related to take care of this child, and they're putting him in foster care for 3 months, 6 months, X amount of time. Because he's a baby.
Yeah.
and he should be with family or someone who can take care of him. That being said, it's interesting that Benson is fostering this child, so she's not adopting, which means that I personally don't think that she is going to, the baby's going to stick around all season. I definitely don't think that we're going to have Noah very long.
I kind of hope we don't. I mean, I want Benson to be happy. I want Benson to be like with. I want her to be happy. She's one of my favorite characters. Actually, she's my favorite character on the show. But the thing is, with the baby, it's a crutch for her. She can't be that badass we know. She has to be careful because if she pisses off the wrong criminal, they will go after her family, and then it's gonna take it's
hindering her abilities to be badass Benson.
Exactly.
I agree. And I'm sad that that's what that means for her.
But maybe we know she's good with kids. You remember when that one the like 10-year-old came and stayed at her place? I think it was like 2 seasons ago or last season maybe. Yeah, she's good.
Maria Bella's kid.
Yeah. Sure.
Maria Bella was the guest star with the arc with the child that she stayed with her.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry guys, I watch a lot of SVU.
That's good.
Yay!
That's a short-term memory.
Sorry, every other after show, I have to bring it up. So good.
Yeah.
I think you have something you want to tell us in terms of news and gossip.
I do. I have some lovely news and gossip.
There it is.
TV news.
What's up?
So, as we know, Dick Wolf has 2 other shows, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Guess what? We're going to have a 3-way.
Yeah, we are.
With Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and Law & Order SVU. They've found a storyline that will work for all 3 of them.
Awesome.
I don't know about you. I'm a little worried. I love that they're doing it. Like, that's kind of a cool... But I've only seen 1 episode of Chicago Fire. Because it was on Netflix, and then by the time I wanted to get to it, it was off Netflix, so I couldn't catch up on it. A little bummed. And then I love Chicago PD. I actually do follow that and watch that, so that's cool. But I don't follow Chicago Fire, and even when they do crossovers from Chicago Fire and Chicago PD, I'm like, what? Who's this character? Wait, what?
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned about the meshing of the characters.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not one of those crossovers like they did with Chicago PD into Law & Order where...
It was just 5 minutes?
Yeah, like, hey, I'm here to pick up my file. Oh, hey, cool jacket. Thanks.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
So obnoxious.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah. I agree with you. I know that when they did Law & Order and SVU spinoffs or crossovers, it was a little bit more useful. Because the story would start on one and then the detectives would continue with the other, with the case. Yeah. There was also the one when we launched Law & Order LA. It was the one with Jennifer Love Hewitt where Benson went around trying to find the rape kits and ended up in LA and then launched that show, which didn't make it.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
No.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I got my Law & Order SVU. That's all that matters.
All we need is SVU. It's the best one.
Exactly. But, I mean, they did well with Chicago PD's
and
part.
Chicago Fire?
I didn't, like I said, I don't watch Chicago Fire. So, but I'm just saying when Law & Order went into Chicago PD, when Rollins and Finn were there, they were there for more than Sophia Bush was for Law & Order.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, Sophia Bush came on to SVU, picked up the file. I remember that.
Yes.
And then Rollins and Finn went on to Fire.
Yes.
Sorry, PD.
Yes. PD.
Okay.
So they were in it for like, hey, these are our bad guys, Rollins and Finn. These are our bad guys. Now go get them. But at least they would come back and they'd still be there eating pizza or whatever they were doing.
Okay.
And Finn would still have his cheesy lines.
Yeah, well, he needs them.
Exactly. I love it.
Okay. Well, so this 3-way crossover should be much more interesting and thorough, right? That's what they're saying.
Exactly. So it's got to be like some kind of sex crime that has to do with fire, that has to do with being in Chicago.
I mean, it could be not necessarily a sex crime. It could be having to do with child abuse.
Okay.
Because
with Fire?
Because we've had a child abuse with Fire one, where the man was, when Sharon Stone was the ADA, when the man there was a fire and they thought that he had murdered his daughters with the fire.
Oh, okay.
But it turned out that it was an accident. Anyway.
Lewis,
Yeah.
is going to come back to life.
No,
and he's going to be the criminal.
Shut your mouth. That would be terrifying.
He's behind you.
That would be the worst. That's the worst. I don't like you anymore. Let's jump into predictions. Oh man. No,
He's right behind you.
Stop.
His burned fingertips.
Luckily, there's a camera pointing at me.
Right?
You're the worst. All right, so next week we have another athlete case.
Yes.
And it's not football. So I am going to say I don't think it's the Ray Rice story.
I disagree. Because they show in the preview an elevator clip, and that's where the Ray Rice story came in.
True.
Lewis?
Ray Rice.
Sorry, there was another incident with Ray Lewis too.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it's that storyline because, and I've said it to you, because I think that it's too soon.
Okay.
I think it's too early in the season because that just happened.
Okay, and as I told you off camera, I think what they do is they have these stories, episode 1, episode 2 to episode 3, where, obviously if they close off and they don't tie into like a cliffhanger, then the next episode could be anything. So therefore, if there's a good headline, they could write something up and put that in, film it, put it in for the second episode. Because the first episode's already been filmed, shot, in the can forever.
But I think that I disagree.
Okay, so you think it's not anything to do with Ray Rice?
I think that storyline is later on in the season.
I disagree, and I think it is going to be based off of his story.
Okay, but it's basketball instead of football.
Right, I agree with that.
I think there's going to be more to it. I think it's going to go back to, again, like we had last season or the season before. I don't recall which season, with the coaches molesting the players and the players. No, you don't. You're done with that storyline?
Yeah, they can't bring that back. It was just recent.
They've done it like 3 times.
Well, I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be his own children.
You think he's molesting his own children?
It's going to not molesting, but beating, child abuse. And that's going to tie into another storyline that's going on in the news with football. So I say football related, but basketball.
But they made it basketball.
Yeah. Because we can't be the same.
Because, like I said, it can't be Uber. We mention Uber, so you understand that it's not Uber.
Exactly.
And we mention Chris Brown, but it's not Chris Brown. It's Caleb Bryant.
Yes, exactly. See that full tie-in there.
Right there. Awesome. What an amazing first episode, guys. Yeah. I can't wait to talk about it next week. Roya, tell the people where they can find you online.
Well, guys, you can find me online on Twitter and Instagram. That's... Wait, what am I at again? At
Hey Roya.
That's HEYROYA. Yo, where can they find you?
Thanks, Roya. The people
Come on down.
The people can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. There you'll find information about the beautiful stylings from Siren's Boudoir. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And of course, you can find me on my couch every weekend watching SVU marathons on USA Network. You know that's where I'll be. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.